Desperate MILFs 4-pack, books 5 through 8. MILF Breeding Erotica Collection. Copyright 2022 by Tori Westwood. Written by Tori Westwood and narrated by Jett. Private Sale, Desperate MILFs. It was my single biggest day as owner of the Dolce Gallery. We'd never had such a high-profile buyer come through the doors before, and everything suggested that he would be buying. Christian Handel never wasted his time if he didn't intend to spend money, and I knew for a fact that he had a brand-new gargantuan home that needed furnishing. We had closed to the public, and for the most part they understood. There was a minor but vocal group of people on social media who said that Mr. Handel's arrival was an absolute travesty for the art world. But I needed to make a living, and the commission would be well received. Besides, Christian was no bum. He appreciated art just as much as I did. The Dolce Gallery happens to be in possession of a fine selection of African art from up-and-coming female artist Almasi Mwangi, and I know that Christian wants to be ahead of the game on this one. It all just makes sense for him, and he has enough money to take the risk. He was a grateful profiteer from the crypto boom of recent years and is now set for life after a series of fortunate investments. For my part, I make a 5% commission, which is nothing to be sniffed at when purchases often stretch into the millions of dollars. The only staff on that day were some of the security team, Frank and Ted. I sat with the pair of them in their office, looking over the CCTV and waiting for Christian's arrival. "Nervous?" Frank asked. I brushed down the lapel of my suit jacket and thought about lying. "Yes," I said, letting out a laugh. "Must be kind of weird showing him around, huh?" "He's just another client," I told them. "I hear he's worth over $1 billion, said Ted. "That might be true." "He doesn't tell you that?" Ted asked. "He doesn't have to. That's his business." "Be nice of him to sling some your way, though, huh?" Frank said. Just then a black car pulled up outside the gallery, and out stepped a suited man in his early 20s. "You two just keep an eye out," I told them, standing up, "and don't feel like you need to watch us." "Hey, this could be the heist of the century," said Frank, laughing. "Then let's hope he doesn't make a run for it," I said, nodding to the box of donuts. Ted laughed, but Frank looked slightly put out. He was the portlier of the two, but I hope he saw that it was all in good fun. There was no time to check. I knew Christian wasn't a fan of waiting. I'd read his profile in Forbes, and I wanted to treat him like he was just another client. "Mr. Handel," I smiled, extending a hand. "Lovely of you to make it." He gave a warm, dazzling smile. "You can call me Chris or Christian. You must be the lovely Emma Carson." "You can call me Miss Carson," I said, twisting a grin. It was flattering to know he knew my name. "I do hate formalities. I believe you have something to show me. Let's go inside," he said, offering me a head. He put his hand on the small of my back as I stepped ahead of him. I walked briskly. I'd heard Christian could be quite the cad. "Welcome to the Dolce Gallery," I said, opening one of the large double doors and letting him into the marble reception. "A pleasure," he nodded, walking inside and buttoning his suit jacket. He looked around the empty foyer. "You must be proud of this place." I closed the door behind us and locked it. My second greatest achievement. He looked to me, wondering what the first might be. "My son," I told him. "Ah," Christian clapped his hands. "Time is money, Ms. Is it Ms. or Mrs.? "It's Ms." That seemed to please him. "Time is money, Miss Carson. Let's take a look at these beauties." By beauties, I assumed Christian was referring to the abstract woman that Ms. Mwangi had drawn as a part of her series on women in tribal societies. That was just how Christian spoke. He had a great appreciation for all kinds of art. I took a glance up at the security cameras. Frank and Ted would probably be pressed against the screen and studying Christian's every move.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?